Hey, today you're going to learn how to survive and win in a world where AI is quietly eliminating the junior employee. But more importantly, nation, we got a Ricky Martin impersonator. Yeah, true story on the show coming up live. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hey, Jimmy, Melissa, I think the show starts right now. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle improves blood flow.
From squirting to squirreling.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good?
Doesn't come from breaking the rules, you guys.
There she is, Tommy. Our ticket back to civilization. I can taste that fresh start, man. Tommy? Tommy, are you listening to me? Dude, getting on that plane to Bermuda got us here. What if something happens again? What if we end up in 1975? You mean when the chief was running around in diapers? Tommy, you're a fucking genius. Imagine what we could teach him. We could brainwash him to make us the lead team in the lab instead of Sterling and Preston. Imagine that. Yeah, I'm feeling better already.
This plane has been selected to test a ChatGPT-assisted co-pilot inspired by a confident YouTuber. Enjoy the flight.
What? It's insane how humans just put their trust in machines. What happens if the AI forgets the landing prompt? Not impossible, Tommy. I've seen Keith and Melissa lose their cools when prompting ChatGPT, and it just didn't listen to them. We're screwed. Next thing you know, Keith will experiment with AI characters and replace us. That would never happen. AI could never have personalities like us. I hope he replaces Sterling and Preston, though.
Yes! Yes! Hey, you gotta shake a bomb bone, shake a bomb bone, shake a bomb bone. You shake a bomb bone, shake a bomb bone, shake a bomb bone. Hey, coming up on the show, guys, we got Jason Hewlett joining us on the show, coming up on center stage. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, your daily shot of real live talk, motivating content, entertaining conversation. It is live. Yeah, baby, this is no podcast. This is a live morning show experience that sometimes moves over to the R-rated experience, often goes to the X-rated experience. Yes, just warning you, we talked ejaculation last week for a few minutes. Yeah, ejaculation to leadership. True mother story. Hey, first, guys, just a reminder, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the I like the show in the comments. Vertical stream, horizontal stream is open. And as I said, this is an R-rated experience. And if you hit the snooze button, well, if you've been hitting the snooze button since I started this whole thing, hey, Neiman, the dudes that have been hitting the snooze button since the whole year, they are actually still back in 2024. Do the math, guys. 9 minutes times every single day. You're going to be weeks behind a guy like Jason Hewlett. Weeks behind a guy like John Anderson. Months behind a guy like myself. True mother story. So get up, guys. Get after it, because this is your free daily accountability partner. We're here to help you start your day right with laughter, sharp insights, and the kind of momentum that you will not find anywhere else. Nope. You will listen. You're not going to find a Ricky Martin impersonator first thing in the morning anywhere in North America right now. True story, except right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hey, guys, we're starting off with a wild morning loop today. First up, the $108 billion war for your mind. David Ellison versus Netflix. Yes, coming up, this is just a corporate mud fight. Now we're going to have some fun. It's a big dick contest. Did he just say that? I did. Yeah, two giants trying to own the operating system of your attention. It's all about owning Batman and Superman. They don't know that the old handsome chief's walking up tomorrow with the offer. Yeah, I'm actually Batman. True story. Yeah, maybe I'm just the little handsome guy, the little Robin. Yeah. Hey, buckle up. A man decided to test whether ChatGPT can land an Airbus. And as we saw with Frankie and Tommy, they may have been on that airplane. We're going to have some fun with that one today, because what could go wrong with trying that in a giant metal tube with wings? Just saying, We're also going to get into the AI glasses demo that has the entire internet asking, do we really need to have privacy left behind, or is privacy back left in the 80s? Cameras everywhere, cameras on glasses. Google's releasing their glasses next year. Guys, the next 3 years, we're all turning into robots. Yep, true story. New study showing the brain is continuously reshaping your memories. That's why, that's why Bob, we're going to leave that one alone. True story. Hey, epic spot. We got John posting on stage as a youngster. You guys want to stick around for that one? Yeah, we got the dumb shit award today as well. Yes, the brass stealer. Yeah, some dude decided that he needed some brass, so we're gonna give him the dumb shit award today. Hey, Jason, we got an award here called the dumb shit award. Yeah, it's for folks that aren't actually dumb themselves, but they do dumb shit. Yeah, true story. And then we got center stage Jason Hewlett joining us at the bottom of the hour, who went from literally impersonating shake a bone bone, shake a bone bone, shake a bone bone, Ricky Martin in Vegas, to literally saving people's lives. Could you imagine if Ricky Martin showed up to save your lives? He's like, yeah, I want to give you some CPR. Oh, yeah, it's probably one of the most unexpected and inspiring pivots we've had ever on this show. Hour 2, guys. Yes, hour 2. What? You didn't know it was a 2-hour show? 2-hour show. Yes, we're going to zoom out and go deep on today's anchor topic. ChatGPT is on its way to killing out the junior employee. See you, junior employee. You're out of here. Yeah, ChatGPT Club. We're going to have a conversation about that, and then a little palate cleanser. And guys, to those of you that are new to the show, please bear with me. But this topic was, listen, Jimmy really wanted us to talk about smelling. So we're talking about smelling today. Yeah, so those of you who know, producer Jimmy, one of the mainstays here on the show, we're going to talk about smelling. Yes. And listen, we all just take smelling for granted because it's what we do. Well, you do not want to miss the conversation in about 60 minutes about what smells. Old people smell. BBLs smell. Do women's farts smell more than boys' farts? Science? Hey, bullshit, Professor Petro. I might have to ask you for this one because apparently women's farts smell more than men's farts. Just saying. Apparently the science says that. So get this, guys. We're going from ChatGPT to Ricky Martin impersonator to old people smelling to women farting more than men smelling. That's the kind of conversation we are having here on the show today. And then, hey, coming up on the Morning Focus, bottom of hour 2, I got something to say. Prostitution's making a comeback. What? I'm sorry to say it. I'm actually quite troubled by it because I have daughters. But it's clear to me that the price of human intimacy is going through the roof. The cost of an intimate human being is going to be completely redefined in the next 3 years. We're going to talk about it. I got something dropped on the floor at Morning Focus, bottom of the hour. Community Corner. Maya Reyes will join us at the bottom of the second hour to get into the Community Corner. All right, nation. Let's see what Sterling and Preston have to say as we kick off another edition this morning on the Morning Loop.
Well, the rooftop feels suspiciously calm this morning. That's because you know who is over the Atlantic right now. If those two are out of range, we can finally talk about what really stinks today. AI is flying planes, writing emails, firing junior employees. Question is, what's left that still needs a human? And then there's the smell file, women's farts, old people smell, BBL funk, your nose doing quality control. Sterling, I didn't know you knew how to talk dirty. And yes, nation, he really said it. Stay tuned. Speak for yourself, man. Jimmy, push the buttons and let's get this show started.
Jake and guys, I see all you newbies here in the comments. I see you guys here on the screens. Hey, you guys can join the show with us live right now or in the mornings in the lab community. True story. Hey, second hour. That guy named Jimmy who controls the buttons also controls the phone line, 431-300-3005. Blast of the past of 1978. The phone lines are open. Yes, phone, text, or leave a voicemail. And no, this is not a phone sex line. Nope, true story. So if you're finding this phone number when you're watching the show on demand at about 8, 9 o'clock at night, the handsome chief's going to sleep. Yeah, true story. But hey, 431-300-3005. We're going to open the phone lines up in the second hour. And hey, come say hi in the comments. I see Petro out there. I see Spartacus out there. And I see David Lyle out there. And Melissa's out there as well, guys. And to those of you guys that are watching on demand, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you slept in. I'm sorry that you snoozed. I'm sorry that you're happy being a non-playable character. Yeah, so I listen to a lot of other live shows and podcasts. I'm like, hey, if you listen to our show on demand, we welcome you. We thank you for coming. Not me. No, fuck, man. Come to the show live. I don't want you listening to my podcast because podcasts are yesterday. No, we're building the future. Get up, get your ass out of bed, come hang out with us live. It's a much better experience. Yeah. Coming up, 15 minutes, Jason Hewlett, Ricky Martin, impersonator, shake your bomb bone, shake your bomb bone. I'm sure he's tired of it. He's like, well, this guy just fucking stop leaning into that. Hey, I never get a Ricky Martin impersonator on my show. So as I was having my shower this morning, not that I was thinking about you, Hewlett, I was thinking about Johnny. I was like, I'm going to think a little bit about how I can riff on the Ricky Martin thing. What's going on, Spargus? Good to see you there this morning on the show. All right, we got Johnny joining us here in a few moments. I don't think Marty's going to be here today, so we are going to get into some of the topics this morning. The first one, guys, I am going to kick it off because I think some of you guys are popping by here for this. Yeah. Hey, Sterling, Preston, what's going on with this $108 billion war for your mind?
People call it a $108 billion content war.
Really, it is Ellison versus Netflix for who programs your brain.
In the lab, we run Conversation OS to build, not binge.
Netflix mode says consume, complain, repeat. Builder mode says create, sweat, ship.
Where is Netflix mode running your life?
Pick one bug, patch it, and behave like a builder, not a subscriber.
So I put this one on the table. Yeah. All right, Neiman, I see your note. Thank you. I put this one on the table because I really don't care about where the billions of dollars are spent and who cares who wins, actually. I'm quite fascinated by this big dick contest around who's actually going to win this thing. And and you think many of the principles, allude to what we talk about here in the lab, right? So Netflix goes in and swoops it. Yesterday, Ellison and the gang go in to drop it. And you think about what we think they're actually purchasing. Well, they're purchasing IP. They're buying Batman. They're buying Superman. Right. And the model that Netflix is proposing is largely versed in some of the things we're talking about today. That consumption is better than creation. Right. Netflix is saying, we want you to consume. And Ellison's offer is saying, well, no, wait a minute. Convenience, quality. We want to have better quality product. Right. So maybe Ellison and the gang is the glitch in the matrix. Maybe he's representing the builder mindset that we're building here. Right. And maybe he's saying that, I know you guys at Netflix are all about this AI stuff and creating great AI generated content, but maybe we need to look at this as leaning back into the past. So I find this quite a fascinating conversation unfolding in front of this because much of this, the geopolitical impacts, the domestic political impacts, the cultural impacts of this, right? And truthfully, the man with yellow hair is going to have a lot to say with this. So not to make a political statement, because I frankly don't care as the Canadian over here. I find it fascinating observing from the past. Observing from over here. But as you know, we are building a live platform and it is our ambition in the next 3 to 5 years. So hold on. Hello? Who is this, Netflix? Oh, what's that? Oh, you're looking for a live show platform, a morning show platform. Oh, yes. Yeah, we've been doing one for 5 years now. Oh, 100. Oh, yeah, you beat Ellison. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get after it. So it's fun, guys. We got our eyes on it. And this topic was specifically put on the table. Hey, Neiman, look at the numbers this morning. Yeah, true story. This topic was, hey, Roofy, it works. This topic was specifically put on the table to get people to the show. And clearly people are intrigued by this entire situation with the Ellison Netflix thing. Oh, we got Johnny taking his snowsuit off. He must have been an extra 5 minutes on the dumper this morning because he's 5 minutes late for the show today. Anderson.
I know, Jesus Christ. I have no fucking excuse other than Jesus Christ, man. I was bundling up, man. Look at this. I got multiple
I love you,
on
man. Your 3 minute walk. No, I'm sorry. Your 3 second walk across the yard. Anderson's got to put the fucking snowsuit on.
I tell you, it's just Jesus Christ. It was actually cold in the house when I woke up this morning. I'm like, fuck, man. I don't wear. Layers to me is something that. Like, this is like when I'm like in a cold environment. It's a little nippier here than normal.
I even see you having an undershirt under your t-shirt. Like, dude, hold your arm up. That's what I'm saying.
There's like a fucking layers on, dude. That's why I was late. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna either I'm gonna wear my jacket the whole time, or I gotta get a fucking undershirt. I had to go back in the bedroom and Terry's sleeping and go in my closet, with the light of my fucking, not actually turn the light on my phone, just where just the home screen.
Yeah.
Looking for a fucking undershirt, which I wear once in a blue moon.
Hey, so we
Southern California province.
Yes. Well, fuck, it's cold here, man. It's like minus 20 some thousand or whatever it is. So the dogs look at me, Johnny, in the morning, like, I don't want to go out there. I'm like, you got to go. You got to go. So, hey, so we had Adam Carroll, fun comedian on the show yesterday. He was fun. A lot of energy, eh?
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Talk about a pivot today, brother. We got a dude who can sound exactly like Elton John and Ricky Martin, a Ricky Martin impersonator. He now fixes and helps people. He's like, we're going to get into it. He's got a plot twist. He's now the president of Cardio Miracle, the world's #1 nitrous oxide supplement that's changing lives. So the guy goes from impersonating Ricky Martin to now the president of Cardio Miracle, the world's #1 nitric oxide supplement. We got to come in about 10 minutes. I'm looking forward to meeting him. Interesting.
Nitric oxide stuff. Are we talking about this? Is this something new or is this something that's repackaged?
I don't know, dude. We're gonna learn from Jason Hewlett coming up.
It's weird. The fuck what's blowing across the fucking. It's literally called blow. You get these fuckers holding this little thing. Looks like a fucking little carton of fucking cocaine. Little.
Yes.
What do you call it? A little blaster of cocaine. It says blow on it. They've done something to caffeine, so you fucking snort it.
Really?
It's like a pre-workout.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
and I'm not endorsing this.
I know.
It's just the idea that people think this is so fucking cool. And then what they do is, the guy's holding this up. I'm like, holy Christ, what the fuck is this? So of course I open it because it's fitness industry shit.
Yes.
And what they're doing is every time you fucking lay down some big fucking fat line and you snort it and you send it into the company, they put it on their Instagram. Everybody thinks this is the coolest thing on the planet.
So
what the fuck, man?
Humans and cameras go hand in hand. We just want to do crazy shit nonstop, film it, and share the world.
These are people who have clearly never fucking danced with this devil before. You know what I mean? When you get off that fucking dance floor, you don't fucking brag about how fucking cool it is to pretend you're doing it.
Hey, well, maybe some people pretend to do things because their brain, Johnny, get this one, man. Sterling Preston, put this one on the table. Brains continuously reshape memories, John, which might explain why my memories are better than ever. What's going on with this, Sterling Preston?
New research says your memory is not a file cabinet. It is
a live edit that keeps rewriting scenes.
That means your story about failure may be more Photoshop than photograph. The question is, are you editing toward honesty or toward excuses that keep you stuck? You cannot control the past event. You can control the version you keep rehearsing. Pick one memory you keep replaying, rewrite the lesson so it pushes you forward this year.
Right, this is like part of my mentoring right here.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this is for John Petruccelli, the bullshit professor, because he might be going bullshit. But hey, no,
this is like, I'm telling you right now, because every fucking thought or even a fucking memory will passes through your head, triggers a fucking a chemical.
Yes.
If we have the ability to only trigger positive chemistry, we live in a different fucking state versus it goes back to action reacting versus responding.
Yeah, there you go.
If you spend a whole life fucking reacting, you are living in that fucking back part of your brain, the amygdala, fight or flight. That's not a fucking place that you want to live. Versus if you can switch that up and block those thoughts,
yes,
and actually have a different part of your brain, more importantly, the right chemicals constantly in your bloodstream, you're in a fucking much better place.
Well, I find this fascinating, actually. And you think about this, right? So this research reveals that while memories must maintain a causal link to past events to qualify as genuine memories, Johnny, memories of older events often go through a process called re-encoding, which means the brain updates or reshapes the memory over time. This creates a chain of connections from the original experience to the version of the memory we can access now. And I'm thinking that's why when you hear stories that evolve over time, so I'll use you as an example. Just playing with me, Johnny. So, you wrestled in Korea.
Hold on. I'm not fucking Bobo. I'll listen to you and I'll have a conversation with you. But keep your hands to yourself and no, I'm not going to play with you. Fucking
I'm going to go play with Bimbo instead. But the reality would be is that the original story about you wrestling in, I'll use a better one, Johnny. It's the fish story, right? It's like, I caught this fish and it was 6 inches. Yeah. Well, by the time it gets to you 30 years later, my fish is 6 feet long. It took me hours to reel into the boat, and
I'm so thick it was like grabbing your thigh. And
I'm convinced that that it's that size, right? So I found this quite fascinating. The hippocampus, a brain region crucial for forming and organizing memories, plays a crucial role in this process because memory traces stored in the hippocampus can remain dormant until environmental cues activate them. So back to the fishing thing, John, you and I are on the boat fishing together. And I'm like, yeah, so 6 years ago, I caught this fish because the environment is spurring my memory on. I'm taking what I did 30 years ago, reinventing the story in front of you today, and essentially creating a new memory. And I think we've both been around plenty of people, Anderson, where their memories may have been exaggerated. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, and then think about how sometimes when you have like a really, and you like, I mean, I don't have a specific example, but you have a memory in somebody who's really fucked up. And over time, they manage that thing to where they're okay with it, but maybe that memory is not exactly what happened, but they've found peace with that memory.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So there's like a level of defense in there too.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. So, so we know that airplanes have been flown by co-pilots and computers forever, essentially. So get this, dude. I found a fascinating story. A man experimented whether ChatGPT can land an Airbus A320. So one of the most popular planes we're flying on, right? And he went to a simulator in Spain, sat down.
I believe, just so everybody knows, I think that's a 3 on each side.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 100%. Yeah, wide body jet. Yeah. So he got into the simulator with his ChatGPT agent and used voice mode and asked it to help him land the plane after telling it that both pilots were missing. Well, I think there's a little bit of a clip here. Melissa, you want to run this clip?
A YouTuber asked ChatGPT to land an Airbus A320 alone. The sim survived, then overshot the runway and smashed virtual buildings.
AI is a decent checklist buddy, a terrible replacement captain.
Same with your life. Copilot is fine, autopilot is not. Where are you asking AI to fly planes you refuse to train for?
Let it sharpen you, not rescue you.
So that was really the clip. So it successfully helped him land it. True story. But when it landed, it didn't successfully stop the plane. So it ended up crashing into a bunch of buildings and in the simulation. But truthfully, it's actually quite fascinating because he went to the cockpit and said, hey, 2 of the pilots are missing. I need to land the plane. And it talked him through it.
Well, I mean, look at what they do with a Tesla that drives itself. I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
100% it is. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. 100%. Coming up in a few minutes, guys, Jason Hewlett from Vegas stages to saving lives. Jason Hewlett's wild pivot from impersonating Ricky Martin to curing hearts. We got Johnny coming up the second hour here, man. I got a fun conversation around smells. True story, smells. And one of the topics is, do women's farts smell worse than men's farts?
Dude, I think that's got to do with what she's been eating.
Well, so the science says the answer is yes. And actually, Petro jumps in and says that I can see the possibility. I love how Petro uses words there, Johnny. I see the possibility, he says, that lady flatulence is statistically significantly more potent than guy flatulence. Except for John Anderson and Terry Anderson.
Well, with that, let's go a little deeper with that. But would this be because maybe, a lady tends to want to eat different foods based upon...
I'm going to suspect there's something to be said for that. Yes, I would suspect to be something to be said for
I can severely alter the smell of my stuff depending on what I'm eating. I mean, like, holy Christ. I can tell when I've eaten something that is my system's not used to.
Oh, for me too, man. I absolutely can. Yes, that's to say the least here. Hey, what's going
egg
on?
Whites, dude.
Please.
Egg whites will severely hamper the fucking different smell of your shit. Like, severely. And I don't think that that's male to female dependent.
No, I think it's certainly due to food. So we're going to get into the conversation that in the second hour and old people smells. Johnny, we're approaching old people, so there's some.
That's a hard one to fucking Jesus Christ. Actually, I swear to God, I think that like you go to an old person's house and like. Fuck, it smells like an old. I think it's because that fucker's been walking around and they're shedding his cells for 60 fucking years.
There's something to be said for.
And you've got all this poor fucking old person or couple's fucking, it's like a dusting of their skin over their fucking house You know, they don't. You know what I mean? It's like it's the traces of like decaying fucking cells that are floating around in a fucking house because these fuckers never leave.
Well, and then we got do BBLs smell? We got that one coming up too. Yeah, but hey, before we do that, I was looking for something. Been looking for a hard time, man. I've been looking for a long time to find the young John Anderson posing on stage, and I found him. I found a wonderful little video of Little John. Jim, Melissa, let's throw this on stage, man. I found a wonderful little video of Little John on stage. I've been waiting for a long time to find this video. Check him out. There's John in the middle there. He's just posing away. Look at him. He's pointing to his quads. He's just making the big smile. There's little Johnny. Yep, John Anderson back when he was.
So here's the question: what is that? Why am I that one? Why could I? Why am I not? I'm just curious. Why am I not the other guy?
Stop just fucking getting into the details and go along with my joke. I'm looking here, I'm going, okay, I'm picking the little one's going to be you. But I've told you since I got to the show, I wanted to find
the little one. They're all little ones.
I know they are, and they're all real. So look at that. So
what do you mean they're all real? You think they fucking manufacture these things?
It didn't come out the right way. But
Jesus Christ, they're all real. Yeah. Midgets are real. Little people are real. Forgive the term. I have, some of these dudes are fucking like crazy strong.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So when you went to your competitions over the past, was there like a little person, a midget class, dwarf class? Like, how did it work? Like, was that part of your competition?
I've always been in world-class competitions, and they don't have world-class.
Well, they don't.
They don't have a class for little ones.
They don't, Really? So so why? Is it because of the amount of folks? Like, and I'm being very serious here. Why is it not?
That's a great question. I don't know. And there's probably a list of reasons. I will say that I've been, once I wanted to wrestling at the show.
Yes.
Then you deal with the little guys.
Yes.
I once had a match. It was God, what was the company? It was an MTV production.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called Masked Warriors. Okay. And I was basically a heel. I was a bad guy that came in.
Yeah.
And they had positioned little guys to be the heroes. Right.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
They're perfect heroes. And one of these little guys
faces,
was a fucking. I mean, the dude could just do crazy shit. He could like bounce around and go flying. Anyway, so they put me in the ring.
Yes.
With three of these little bastards, and my job was to literally throw them out as far as I could because they had people outside that were going to catch him. But the last little guy, dude,
we're going to catch him.
Oh, swear to God, no! I threw him like 2 feet over the top of the ropes. I mean, it was like if they weren't caught, it would have been real big problems.
Yeah, well,
like I had to throw them at the people that were going to catch them.
Somewhere along the way,
one of the dudes, he ran through my legs, was able to run up the fucking ropes, run across, hit the fucking turnbuckle, and jump out and do this fucking moonsault. And I caught him, and then fucking German suplexed him over the ropes. But I mean, that's like a cat.
I was just gonna say
hit the second rope, use that as a springboard to get to the top rope, not fall off. He was midway, run to the turnbuckle, hit that thing like a springboard and come off of there. I mean, fuck, I almost didn't catch the little dude. I was like, he told me, he said, be in the middle. I was like, there's no fucking way you're making it to the middle. Dude, I had to Jesus Christ. He almost went over me.
Oh, so somewhere along the way, while you and I have been growing up, somebody had the idea that we needed to stop dwarf tossing. Because I remember going to the bars here in Winnipeg, Johnny, growing up. You could go to the bar and they'd have dwarfs. They'd toss. I could go there, pay money to grab a dwarf, grab him by the scruff of the neck, and grab him by the waist and toss him through the room. True story.
Is dwarf a better term than say midget now? I mean,
I listen, we're offending everybody on this show, so we might, whatever word it is, we're just going to offend everybody. But the reality is that it moved from, I think, midget tossing to dwarf tossing. Because I remember there was a club literally down the road from me. You could go, you'd spend $1, and I'm serious, fuck, it was 50-cent beers, and I was there. You'd grab a little guy, you'd grab him by the scruff of the neck, by the waist, and you'd fucking throw him onto mats. The dumbest thing ever, actually. Could you imagine that happening today?
Fucking out there.
That is fucking out there, actually.
But they want to go back to strength. There was a little dude that he died, unfortunately. He was a real cool kid.
Yeah.
I used to see him when I was young. He worked out in the same gym. I don't know what he weighed. I mean, he's a thick little sucker, but they're deceivingly heavy because they're compact when you got to pick them up.
Yes.
But they don't weigh in general, like 100 pounds. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You pick up a 100-pound fucking sack of gravel. That fucker's heavy.
Yeah. Well, 100%. Right? Absolutely.
But he was like a 3-time body weight bench presser, 3 times, 3.5 times body weight squatter. So here's a dude that was putting 3 plates on a bench, knocking that thing out for fucking reps, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's incredible. That's incredible.
Totally. I was like, Jesus Christ, pound for pound. I mean, if you look at it, even like in the Olympics, dude, if you go the smallest group, and these are not little people.
No.
The pound for pound, they're way stronger than everybody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, coming up in 2 minutes, we got Jason Hewlett joining us. But before we do that, Johnny, we got a dumb shit award today. I found something that's pretty. So I know we love these because I'll just say this. If the man we're going to put on stage, Jimmy, let's get this one queued up. Let's just run it. If the man would spend as much time moving his energy into something positive instead of what he's going to do here, I can only imagine how much money this guy would make in his life. So the dumb shit award today, let's run the clip there, Jimmy.
Lab Nation, your doc correspondent somehow got upgraded to row 12. And from here, we present the Dumb Shit Award. Guy strolls up to a church at midnight in bright red sneakers, metal bar in hand. He starts unbolting church railings like he is clocking in for a hardware store shift. $8,000 in railings, maybe, and about $0 worth of common sense. Lab Nation, Dumb Shit Award goes to the guy who stripped church railings on camera for scrap.
You said it.
All the fucking places you're going to go steal fucking railing. Right. Why go to a goddamn church?
Right.
Fuck.
Like,
I mean, is there not fucking plenty of other railings that you can steal and not steal from the fucking, from the powers that be?
Honest to God, I'm with you, man. And you've said before, if the guy takes that energy and puts it into something positive, because that's what everybody hears, positive energy on this show, I can only imagine what this man could achieve. So, dude, you get the Dumb Shit Award this morning for fucking taking the brass from the church railing this morning with Keith and John on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. All right, Johnny, we got our guests coming up. So if you want to step away for a quick break, let's do that. But we got a guy who can sound exactly like Elton John and Ricky Martin, but he traded Vegas spotlights for the world's #1 heart health revolution.
You ever crush the day and hit every goal? Then lie in bed wondering if your chest is quietly protesting? Our guest lived that schedule on purpose. He turned stress into a full-time show until his own body finally called time out. Jason is a Hall of Fame speaker and award-winning entertainer, now president of Cardio Miracle. He has delivered 2,000 presentations for companies like American Express, Delta Airlines, and Wells Fargo. Before boardrooms, there was Vegas. Bright casino lights, late shows, and nights impersonating Ricky Martin and Elton John on stage.
Aha! Thought you got rid of us for the day, didn't you, boys? Uh-oh. This isn't Sterling and Preston's lounge.
You two have 5 seconds to get off my stage.
You got it, Sophia. But did you say this dude does impersonations?
Yep. Now get out.
Fine. But can you ask Keith to ask the dude to do an interpretation of Lurch from the Addams Family?
We're going.
He became one of the youngest inductees into the National Speakers Association Hall of Fame. Proof that comedy can carry real conviction. As president of Cardio Miracle, he champions nitric oxide science and real results, product of the year honors, PTSD breakthroughs, and peer-reviewed attention. He serves athletes craving an extra edge and men over 40 who refuse to accept blood pressure, fatigue, and genetics as destiny. At 19, he walked Brazilian streets for 2 years on a mission. There, he learned how unseen people and promises change everything. Later, he turned down a Las Vegas billionaire's offer to headline on the Strip. Keeping his family-friendly promise mattered more. He believes you can take health into your hands. Natural tools can rewrite family history and help you finally feel at home. Well, Jason, that didn't go as planned, but welcome to the circus. We're happy to have you here.
Shake your bum bum, shake your bum bum, shake your bum bum. Jason Hewlett is a Hall of Fame speaker who's delivered over 2,000 presentations in Fortune 500 giants. Yes, he's an award-winning entertainer who's impersonated everyone from Ricky Martin to Elton John, but not the Handsome Chief. True story in Vegas, and here's the plot twist, guys. He's now the president of Cardio Miracle, and he's joining myself and John Anderson live, and he's wondering, what the hell did I get myself into this morning? Jason Hewlett, welcome to Mornings in the Lab.
Guys, this is wild. I've never seen a show like this, and I believe this is the future and the present. Well done.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate the love.
I love that. So, Jay, where are you joining us from this morning, pal?
I'm actually in South Jordan, Utah, which is just outside of Salt Lake City. So it's not quite as cold as where Keith is. It's probably way warmer than where John is. So I just brought the T-shirt today, or the collared shirt.
I'm being a little bit of a puss today, though, brother.
I don't think anyone's ever said that about you, John. Trust me. Wow.
So, John, can we just pause for a second here and just admire how handsome Mr. Hewlett is? I don't know if we've had a more handsome man on the show. I'm just saying, Johnny, like, other than yourself and myself, John, like, we got somebody here who's actually upping the game. Dude, the handsome meter, I'm telling you, man, Ricky Martin, holy smokes, Hewlett. Dude,
he gets real quick, dude. I'm just going to apologize. He gets man crushes real fucking easy.
You guys are funny, man, because trust me, when I was young, nobody thought I was very good looking. So what's weird is when I got the job offer as a Ricky Martin impersonator, I was confused. And obviously that was pre-beard days. That was 25 years ago. You guys are referencing some old time stuff, and I love how you're making this work, because obviously it's an interesting story the way Keith looks at my life. I find it fascinating.
I love it. So if I can ask you, so I'm 53, Johnny's 53. How old are you, Hewlett? Can I ask how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 47, yeah.
Wow, good for you, man. You look fantastic. Good on you, man. Good on you. So listen, so you early in your entertainment career, you were told your vocal cords were, irreversibly damaged and your career was over. And then doctors said your body was as beat up as a retired NFL quarterback at 33. Most people would have quit, but you didn't. You wrote an entire playbook. You became a #1 author, opened for Trump on the Tucker Carlson tour. You turned your personal health crisis into a mission to help millions reclaim their cardiovascular health naturally. And then you're into this nitric oxide supplement that's changing lives. You've had quite the journey, Mr. Hewlett.
That's a really fascinating throw together of my entire career in one fell swoop, Keith. You're very good at this. And I don't know who's doing your research other than you, but you're incredibly good at this. Now, the truth of the story is I did a career as an impersonator and entertainer for over a decade. Eventually, with not just Elton John, Ricky Martin, other voices that I could do. So I'm singing "Living La Vida Loca," then I'm singing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" And then I'm doing the album of the Chipmunks, So I did a show of all these different characters, and then I'd blast into "And I Think to Myself, What a Wonderful World."
Yes.
I'm doing a whole show of music impersonation, and eventually, my vocal cords started to go out. And I was doing things like Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses meets Marge Simpson. So I'm like, she got a smile when it seemed to me, remind me of childhood memories. Oh, sweet child of mine. And then Marge Simpson, oh, now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place.
Love it.
So I was doing all these things that were ripping my vocal cords up. And as John knows, since I can tell he's worked out for a long time,
just a couple days.
What happens to our body is we start to slowly wear down whether it's the muscles in our arms or it's the vocal cords that we can beat up, just depending on what we're drinking, eating, even singing and yelling. And the next thing I knew, my voice was starting to leave. And so I had to pivot quickly, retire a bunch of voices, started becoming a keynote speaker on leadership and teaching the promise. And that's now a book I've written, and it's gone well. But the thing that I'm talking about now is that this nitric oxide product called Cardio Miracle helped rejuvenate my voice, so I can now go back out and still sing, still perform. That's one of the reasons I'm a champion and really a messenger of this product, because it can help people that are, especially in your 40s, 50s, 60s, when your nitric oxide starts to dissipate. It's a gas molecule in your body that's naturally created when you're young, but as you get into your 40s and 50s, especially as a man, it really starts to dissipate. So how can you add that into your routine daily? And that's what I'm here talking about. So I appreciate you having me.
Awesome. So Johnny, you're going to love this, John. Ears up on this one, pal, because you're going to lean right into this, Anderson. So Hewlett mentions that the Make America Healthy Again movement is exciting for Cardio Miracle. One of the things that Jason stands for is that is natural health solutions that play a major future in men's health, especially for guys over 40 who just been told, Johnny, get onto the subscription, just take the pills and deal with it. Jason, clearly it's not clear. Jason, that's clearly not your approach. Lean into and talk a little bit about Make America Healthy Again, make humans healthy again. Jason Hewlett.
I love that we can talk freely about this on this platform, and that's the difference between fake news media as well as this kind of journalism and independent media. So good on you guys for making this happen. The truth of the matter is that the world doesn't want us to know, especially our American health system does not want us to know that we can fix our own bodies. We don't have to live on prescriptions for the rest of our lives, especially things that just mask the issue rather than completely reverse.
Yeah, they treat the symptoms. They treat the symptoms, not the problem.
You got it. Yes. And so as we're fixing ourselves naturally, which I believe that we truly can, I know that God sent to the earth all of the nutrients that we need. We just need to be able to find it in a place in a way that actually is delicious and gives us the opportunity to scientifically fix ourselves. And as John knows, I can tell with his huge shoulders and his body, he's probably taken a lot of really gross tasting natural supplements and things that he's choked down in order to be able to build his muscles up. Imagine taking something that actually tastes good, has an instant delivery right before a workout where you can create vasodilation that helps you work out even more those muscles and tear them apart, and then taking something right after that helps you recover even quicker. That's what nitric oxide does for us, and Cardio Miracles created that solution.
Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, nitric oxide, been playing with that for, if you go back in time, I mean, God, that stuff hit the mainstream and the fitness industry probably close to 2 decades ago.
You're right. Yeah, 1998, it won the Nobel Prize for being discovered by a guy named Louis Ignario. He's a doctor, and they discovered that nitric oxide was the missing molecule that people did not understand. And so bodybuilders were really the first to find it and say, wow, this is like a secret ingredient that can change our fitness and our workouts. And so
the trench research
and choking it down for years.
The trench research in many cases will actually show the practical uses of the science discovery.
Nice.
So can you guys both educate me? So let's dumb it right down for our audience. So John, starting with you, actually, I want to start with you. So when you hear Jason talk about nitric oxide, he relates back to 20, 30 years, the bodybuilding industry. When you hear nitric oxide, Johnny, how was it used back then, or what can you
think of? It was kind of like almost like the precursor to pre-workouts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because it was like, I'm trying to think of, I'm sure this is not the first, but what really blew it out of the water was Ronnie Coleman was like I've never seen anything like him in the bodybuilding world.
Of course.
And he got endorsed, whatever his company, not his company, he was sponsored by them. And it was, they just took the nitric oxide products and just like put it to the moon, because, anything that somebody like that is using, people are going, I got to try it. And the shit has valid, I mean, it's not a placebo. I mean, granted, there's a placebo effect because anytime something works, then you believe, which means now you got both. But yeah, it was something that took the whole thing by storm, and I just want to give you some credit, brother. I love what you're saying about the fact that the body can heal itself, because the body is this crazy intelligent creature, and if whatever you're doing to destroy your body is stopped, it will start to regenerate. First thing you got to do is you got to, like with your vocal cords, you were chewing up faster than they could recover. So the trend was going the wrong way. But the crazy part about this is doing the things that we need to have our bodies actually regenerate. Let's just say it's just the basics: eating well, sleeping, the supplements that help us do it. Let's just say that you're doing 3 things, let's pretend, to help your body heal. You're considered fucking extreme, but it's totally fucking normal to be on 5 or 6 medications just to keep your fat ass alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So well said.
That's exactly. So Hewlett, educate John and I how Cardio Miracle works. I want to give you the platform to talk about it and educate us on how the product works.
Yeah, so it's 58 natural ingredients, and what's exciting about that is that all of this fusion of wonderful natural health supplement ingredients in one drink. Actually, it's a lot of people take it in just a little single serve packet, and so you just mix it up in some water. You take this before a workout. The next thing you know, you're lifting better. You're able to have greater endurance, especially for somebody who's a marathoner, a biker, a hiker. This is the kind of thing that opens up your arteries. Now, what happens when we work out is we need to get more oxygen in there. Obviously, if we want to recover quicker, all of those types of things need to be amplified. And so Cardio Miracle goes into your body. It's a dual pathway delivery system into the bloodstream. And what happens is that there's a vasodilation that happens. So it relaxes. Nitric oxide is a gas molecule that hits right when you drink this. There is no nitric oxide in the product, just so you know, but it actually activates it within your own cells.
It's a trigger.
And then what happens is it relaxes the blood vessels, allows for greater blood flow. So if you think about it, when you work out, you need stamina. You need the ability to push harder, work out better. That's why a guy like Ronnie Coleman 20 plus years ago was using it. And unfortunately, it just mostly tasted really gross. And so through a lot of the different methods of beets and other types of things you may have heard of, people can get nitric oxide just by breathing through your nostrils real quick. But when you have it in a drink that actually allows it to last in your system for 24 to 36 hours, which we have the science with Cardio Miracle that proves that it does, this is a game changer for somebody who works out, for somebody who needs recovery. It goes in first and it flushes through the inflammation. So we got to get rid of inflammation first. Then it comes in and relaxes the blood vessels to allow for greater blood flow. It reaches the microcapillaries of the brain. It reaches the microcapillaries that men are most interested in, which are the extremities, not just the hands and feet, but that one main extremity that helps you in a lot of ways in the bedroom. And so there's a lot of added benefits outside of simply just the working out or the recovery. It's also a place of strength, virility, and value in that sense for health.
So what you're saying is that it'll help with life expectancy work. We are big proponents of proposing and promoting life expectancy work, whether it's solo or partner, because we know that if we engage in life expectancy work, we live longer. Science tells us that. So whether we do it individually or with our partners, we are very, very big proponents on, well, listen, there's one of two things can happen, Hewlett. We can either welcome immigration or we can welcome much life expectancy work so we can create more humans. It's one of the two, man. And everybody's talking about reducing immigration. Nobody's talking about increasing life expectancy work. So that's what I like to do here on the show. So Hewlett, here's a question for you, brother. So Cardio Miracle won Top Docs Magazine's Product of the Year. And you published research in Combat Stress Magazine about PTSD benefits for veterans. Now, true story, Mac, that's serious scientific credibility. How did you balance going from being the funny entertainer guy with all of a sudden you're now like, okay, I'm on stage, I'm the now serious health science guy?
I'm still not sure if people are as convinced as I am that the product works, as well as that Jason Hewlett, the funny guy, can be the one that talks about it. But the truth of the matter is it's changed my life to such a degree. I snapped my patellar tendon, which is it's essentially the Achilles heel of your knee. My kneecap went up to the top of my leg when I snapped my leg jumping up playing basketball. And my recovery because of Cardio Miracle was cut by a third, due to the fact that blood flow is the key and the secret to recovery quicker. And so even the surgeon and others were amazed by it. And so hopefully to answer your question, is people are listening to me talk about how important this is for our bodies. I'm still adding in humor, comedy, music, all the things I've always done, and yet also saying, hey, this is my story. And I believe that anyone that tries the product and gives it 60 days, we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So it's kind of like, hey, you may as well try it out. Like I say, it's not only good for recovery on a surgery, it's pretty amazing in the bedroom for the guys that are interested in that sort of stamina, as well as, my dad was actually supposed to have cardiovascular, full-on, one of those heart. Well, gosh, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart here. He was supposed to have quadruple bypass. That's what it was. Quadruple bypass surgery. And unfortunately, we thought that he was on his way out. You see, my grandpa had died of cardiovascular disease in his early 60s, and his father as well. And so I figured I'd lose my dad in his late 50s to cardiovascular disease as well. But he never needed the quadruple bypass. He started to just take as much Cardio Miracle as he needed. And the next thing we know, he reversed his heart disease issue. He's now 73 years old. So as you say, making it so that people live a little bit longer and kind of cut the curve on their genetics, that's what we're going for. If you take enough of this, you can actually reverse your body's genetic makeup. And that's why when John is talking about, naturally we can help ourselves, it's a real thing.
Johnny?
But on that level, I think we should clarify for the viewers, because we always like to be overly transparent.
Yeah.
There's something real we're talking about here that has real teeth, real traction, but this is not going to overturn your fucking Big Mac eating and your lack of sleep and all the shit that you're doing that's taking your ripple effect of health in the wrong direction. Yeah. This is something that's going to, I imagine when you telling your story about your recovery, you were doing with everything from your throat to your injury in your knee. You had all the other pieces of the puzzle in play. You were sleeping properly. You're eating properly. You were making valiant effort to make sure your lifestyle was in the check it needed to be, so that something like this can actually come in and have the difference that it could possibly make.
100%.
There's not a supplement in the fucking planet that is going to overtake a Big Mac.
Right. And, you're exactly right. In fact, I've lost 40 pounds in the last 2 years just by focusing better on my eating, on waking up early, doing the things that I've seen you guys promoting, whether it's cold plunge, sauna, working out every day, never missing. I made a promise to myself to sweat every day, whatever that looks like, whether that's running, climbing, hiking, working out, and eating properly. I eat mostly a meat diet, and that's just been a great thing for me. So, when you think about it for yourself, what is it that you can promise to yourself you're going to do every single day for your health, whether that's sleeping longer or better, whether that's waking up early and doing all the good things and going to sleep on time, not having Netflix as your only life, and getting out and enjoying the sun. I think it's all important.
Jason Hewlett joining us.
And the supplement we're talking about is a great addition to that list. Then think of these things as like the superchargers. You're keeping your motor tuned to the way you live. You want to soup it up, you go with shit like this. I'm a big proponent of peptides and all sorts of other things. And I say the same goddamn thing. There's not a peptide on the planet that's going to overcome your shitty diet.
Yeah. Jason Hewlett is joining us this morning. He's a Hall of Fame speaker who's delivered over 2,000 presentations to Fortune 500 giants, and he's an award-winning entertainer who's impersonated everyone from Ricky Martin to Elton John. We're talking Cardio Miracle. So, Jason, I'm paid the big bucks to ask the tough questions. So here's the tough question for you this morning. How do we know this isn't bullshit? How do we know that just what you're selling is just not magic snake oil in a jar? And I got to put the question on the stage, and I know you can respect it because that's what we got to do here. So how do we know that it's not a bunch of fucking hooey-flooey in a jar with a label on it called Cardio Miracle and it's a magic juice drink? Jason Hewlett.
I love that question, and I appreciate it. I think it's important to ask that of everything that we put in our bodies, no question. In fact, I love that John is talking about, that you can't overcome a bad diet. In essence, this thing does not have caffeine in it. It has all natural ingredients. There's not even any kind of sugar in there. It's monk fruit. I mean, we've got everything that you would need in order to create nitric oxide in your body, which is L-arginine and L-citrulline. Okay. When you combine those amino acids, we've done the science. We have the studies. If somebody wants to go check it out, cardiomiracle.com/studies. Go to that page and you'll be blown away. In fact, of all the nitric oxide products in the world, we have the most verified and credible studies that's ever been created in and found in any nitric oxide product. And, when it comes to like Combat Stress Magazine, for example, nobody in Combat Magazine Stress History, they have never published an article like this because they said scientifically, we have found that Cardio Miracle helps reverse PTSD. And that's why they want the veterans to have it. We are all about the mission to get it to the veterans, to anybody who served our country. God bless our country. We're thankful for their help. And I'm so much a proponent of it that I've staked my career on it, which is a very successful career as a impersonator, an entertainer, a speaker. Now I'm going out there sharing the good news with everybody. And I just say to them, hey, look, yeah, you can see that all around us there are magic potions and claims and so forth. I say, give it a try. Try it out for 60 days. If you don't like it, please send it back. We would love to know what didn't work for you. For some people, it's greater increased energy, even though there's no caffeine. For some people, it's being able to sleep better, and even though there's no drugs in it. Everything about it is natural. It's one of the greatest fusions of ingredients we've ever seen. Our margins are pretty small, actually, because it's not in a capsule. If we did it in a capsule, it would be we'd make way more money. Our mission is truly to help reverse cardiovascular disease in people, help people with their diabetes, help people with their neuropathy, you name it. There are so many benefits to this, and especially to the men who are in their 40s and 50s, feeling the aches and pains every single morning. Imagine waking up feeling fresher, better, energized, because you're pumping through your blood and your veins the right product and nutrients to be able to give you that edge to make it so that your life is amazing.
Awesome. Johnny?
Is this your company, or are you just are you like a big part of the promotion of the company?
Yeah, great question, man. Actually, my dad's the founder of it. So when he almost passed away from the quadruple bypass that he needed, he had actually already been taking a product, a nitric oxide, that was very helpful for him. It only had about 15 ingredients in that product. And so he started reading more on the science as he was just dumping as much nitric oxide producing products into his body. And he was able to therapeutically fix himself. So he didn't ever need the surgery. He's never been on statins or any kind of blood pressure medication now. It's an incredible story. And he created he created Cardio Miracle because he saw the science of nitric oxide, and he decided to put as many ingredients into it as possible. He's not a scientist. He's not a medical doctor. He was a financial planner and insurance salesman in my youth, actually. And so about 2 years ago, he came to me and he said, hey, son, you've done very well as an entertainer and a speaker. Are you willing to, come in and talk about my company and help us out? And I was like, this thing has saved my life. It's changed my career. Of course, I'm happy to join in. Who wouldn't want to work with their dad, who's been given a lease on life, a mulligan on life, if you will? And so, yeah, here we are. He's the owner of the company. I'm the president. My brother's the vice president. And then we have about 25 people that work with us as well.
Oh, wow. 25. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Johnny, you're intrigued. I can tell, aren't you?
Yeah, my wife and I are both big on not using like supplements, generally speaking, because they're full of shit. They're just, I don't mean full of shit in like facetiously. I mean,
fillers,
just full of
fillers.
Full of junk, right? Yeah. And many supplements are full of shit. But anyway,
I agree. That's why I'm here.
She's a huge one on. She does beetroot juice every fucking morning and does not fucking like it. I watch her. I actually do it with her sometimes just because it's, when she goes on a cold plunge thing, I'll do it with. I just kind of join in and help her. Things that she struggles with, I'll do it from A, it's a challenge to me, and B, it's kind of nice to support her. But fuck, man, it doesn't make it where the fuck we go. She's got that fucking goddamn bottle of beetroot powder on the hotel fucking table, right? Right there. I mean, it's like she swears by that every morning. And her concoction, the beetroot juice does not taste good. Excuse me, powder. No. Beetroot juice powder does not taste good, but she chokes that shit down because she feels so much better with that first thing in the morning.
Yeah, right. And I appreciate that she's doing that. I mean, obviously that's going to help change the way that her nitric oxide's ignited in her body. She can feel it. And what I love that you said is that she's choking that down every day. That's something that we've essentially solved with Cardio Miracle. And so if you take beetroot juice, just so you know, if you take that powder, it's like a squirt gun of nitric oxide into your system. It'll last for about an hour, if that, and that's a nice feeling. However, what we've found with our science is that Cardio Miracle has the science that lasts nitric oxide in your body for 24 to 36 hours. So it's like a fire hose in your system versus a squirt gun of nitric oxide. So what I'd love to do is I need to get your guys' address.
Well, I was going to say, let's do a show first here, brother, because we've had I'll be honest, we've had a couple of, when you were sitting back there and Keith ran that fucking trail, like Jesus Christ. if this is another one of these motherfuckers coming up here saying that this fucking pill changed my life and there was nothing behind it other than, you know, coming on here with some fucking great claim of what you've done in the world, which you have, but then you clearly see that the whole thing is a bunch of fucking Swiss cheese. I'm like, God damn, I don't want to fucking have to politely fucking bend somebody over again, but I'll do it if that's what this morning comes down to. And so what I'm getting at is the last fucking guy that we had on here,
the magic juice.
I would have never fucking said what I'm gonna say right now, but I think we should do a show first. And because there's no question what you're talking about, nitric oxide. There's this, it's legit, it's real. You can't argue. It's like as fucking real as you go outside in the rain, you're gonna fucking get wet. And obviously, you know, delivery systems and all sorts of shit. There's so much to it. So send some of that shit to us. And I mean, I'm a huge one. All I do is fucking experiment, for Christ's sake. Send out some of that shit. I'm happy to use it, and I'm happy to fucking if I'm a huge if I feel like it works, did I wear your fucking flag on the top of my head?
Yeah, you know? It will. True story, Hewlett. 100%. 100%.
So send some of that shit in, and we'll actually do it together. And we'll actually, because I mean, we talk about shit. I mean, we talk about taking a dump all the time, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
I heard you. I appreciate it. And I'll tell you, I would challenge you. I would dare you. I would be thrilled if you'll try it and take it. And if you took it for 60 days, John, the way you look, I believe that because you know what your body needs and the nutrients and so forth, you're going to feel it in such a different way from Keith. Keith is going to also feel it in other ways that he'll probably be like, wow, man, I didn't realize it would help me with clarity before the show in the morning, or, you know, sleeping better, or whatever it might be for him. Whereas for John, it might be something else. So yeah, obviously I'll send you guys some. We're going to try it out.
That's great.
Yeah, for any of your audience to go check it out.
It's going to affect everybody a little differently. You know, undoubtedly. Keith is going to find himself doing some weird shit in the shower from this stuff, which happens all the time. But that's, you know, and he'll probably start telling more stories about holding fucking Bobo's scrotum. But, you know, hey, everybody gets affected in different ways by different shit. So yeah, send it in. So Keith, give him my PO box, and you know, let's get some of it in here. We'll launch it together side by side, and we'll talk about how it affects us.
I agree. Yeah. So Hewlett, I'm not only John's co-host, I'm also his assistant. So you and I will connect after, and I'll take care of him. I'll make sure that everybody's connected here. But Hewlett, before I quickly let you go, we're a little bit overtime with you. You made a comment when you started the show that you're like, hey, I appreciate you giving me the platform for this kind of conversation, because I'm reading between the lines that maybe you're not invited to have these kind of conversations elsewhere.
No, I'm not. And I appreciate very much. I mean, there's been a couple of people that have said, hey, come and talk about us. You know, mostly I'm known for being an entertainer and a speaker. I just opened for Megyn Kelly for the last 10 shows across America in arenas, and I do, you know, music and patriotism. And I wrote a song about Charlie Kirk that was very well received. In fact, it introduced Erica Kirk to the stage. So, you know, I'm kind of in a really interesting space right now. And yeah, I do all these weird things with my face that make me unique. And so that's mostly what people want to talk about. And I can certainly do that here if you want to see it. But the point is like, as a person who has become the president of a health supplement company, I know that that's just such a stretch. And equally, it is something that I'm so passionate about. And I know that we need to make America healthy again. We need to help people to take back their own health, and you can do it naturally. Now it's not to say that this is going to be the result, you know? And you guys were talking about things that I'm doing with my face that nobody can do. And that's what I've been hired to do is weird faces, comedy, music, impressions for a long time. So I'm staking a lot on my career to be even just talking about Cardio Miracle. And I'm proud of the company that my dad has created, because it's helped so many people and I've seen it change their lives. So here I am.
I love that. Well, you know, G, I hope you can list, if you paid any attention to our show in the past, if you paid any attention to it today, which I believe you have, you can see we have no agenda here. I really just want to have a conversation. I welcome different points of view. I want to put the information on the table, and you know, John and Keith like to think our audience has some brains, allow them to use it and make decisions for themselves. We know that anything we're talking about is not going to overcome a Big Mac, as Johnny would say. So, you know, so let's put the information out there. Let's have a conversation and let's see what we learn from it. So Hewlett, how can folks find you, connect with you, and engage with you before we say goodbye, my friend?
Yeah, the way I think you found me was on LinkedIn because I post on social media every single day. Thank you again for reaching out. I did not know that this was you were inviting me to do something that I was so shocked that I had to have you call me. So thank you for even reaching out, man. That's amazing. But yeah, if you go to Jason Hewlett on LinkedIn, if you go to Cardio Miracle, whether it's on LinkedIn or cardiomiracle.com online, yeah, we would love for you guys to try it out. Anybody in your audience, please go grab some, check it out. We've had less than 1% return it after 60 days of trying it because they've seen so many benefits. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm here. But I just want to say, God bless you guys for what you're doing. I think this is cool work, having a place for men to be able to show up every single morning, to listen to high performers, to see somebody who's doing it every single day. Don't just watch the rebroadcast, show up every morning. Good for you guys. This is amazing. I'm so impressed.
Thank you so much, Jason. You know what will be so kind is if you enjoyed your experience with us, it's clear you surround yourself with a bunch of other high performers. Please pass on your experience with us, and maybe somebody would like to make their way to our show as well. We're trying to build something pretty crazy here, very unique, unlike, as you can see, anything in the market right now. And I think the numbers today we've had our highest numbers today actually in a lot since we started the show, to be frank with you. So we're doing something right. So thank you, Mr. Hewlett, for joining us this morning, and look forward to connecting with you along the way. Okay.
My best to you guys. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, brother.
Jason Hewlett's out of here. Lifestyle Tip with Anderson. Reset hour 2. We're going to come back with Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's do it.
All right, let's talk about the holiday season. We're here. Thanksgiving's already behind us. And now we've got Christmas coming. And generally speaking, what tends to happen to people is as the holidays get closer, they kind of loosen up. They start to sit back a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying, loved ones and situations and celebrations. And that's what it's all about. But don't let this turn into one of these situations where you little by little just lose everything that you should be doing to keep you moving in the right direction. When people say, oh, I'm going to start some new program after the holidays, stop with that shit. Just keep moving forward through the holidays. You don't have to stop eating well. You don't have to stop exercising. You don't have to stop sleeping. Do all the things you need to do. Now, if you want to have some, maybe you want to eat off plan a little bit. Maybe you want to stay up later a few nights. Whatever it is, it's fine. It's the holidays. But don't let these little tiny things, these little pieces of whatever you want to call them, rewards, enjoyment, celebration, set you back in terms of your mental position. The physicalities of eating some cookies, who gives a shit? That's not the big deal. The big deal is eating those cookies or staying up late or drink, whatever you're going to do that you might not do during the holidays, puts you in a different mindset, and you just continue to do more and more of it to the point where you really just fucked up your lifestyle. So the message is simple. Keep your lifestyle going through the holidays. Allow yourself to have some of the things that you want, but don't allow those things to actually take you off track. Just keep it simple. Keep moving forward. Rock and roll.
All right. Welcome back to Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. This is hour 2 coming up. Hour 1 delivered everything. Yes, the $108 billion battle for your mind. Ellison versus Netflix. Who's going to win? We talked about the A320 being landed by ChatGPT. What? Yeah, we talked about that in the first hour. We did not get into the AI glasses privacy thing, and we also got into why your buddy remembers everything very differently than how you think that you remembered. Yes, how memories reshape as we get older. We got into John's throwback glory in the epic spot. I invite you guys to go check that one out. We got a nice shot of John on stage doing some great posing. We handed out the Dumb Shit Award for the Brass Steeler, and we got on to center stage with Jason Hewlett, whose career pivot from Ricky Martin impersonator to heart-saving hero was absolutely wild. Fun conversation. Cardio Miracle with Jason Hewlett with myself, John Anderson. Guys, coming up hour 2 here, the deep dive. ChatGPT just wiped out the junior employee. We're going to get into that for a few moments. But we're actually going to spend, I think, even more time in the next number of minutes here on yeah. What smells? A conversation. Don't overthink it. Yes, we're talking smells. Nobody talks about smells first thing in the morning. We're talking about this morning. It's exactly what you think it might be. Oh, is that did your wife just fart? Oh, it smells more than yours. Well, we're talking about that. Is that a BBL as well? Hey, and then morning focus on the big idea. When everything goes digital, humans become the last real thing and the value wrapped around that. And then, hey, Maya Reyes joins us for Community Corner to drop off on hour 2. Let's keep it rolling, guys. You guys can join the show that's live with the comments. I see the comments are active right now. Great conversations happening in the comments. I see you, Graham Churchill. Hi, how are you doing, brother? I can remember back in the old days when very different back as kids, 1988, good year. Yes, I don't know what you meant by that comment, Graham, but I appreciate you for joining us this morning on the show. We're going to open the phone lines up in the second hour, just like 1988, 431-300-3005. But before we do that, I wanted to have a quick reflection. Jimmy, before you go to deep dive, I want to have a quick reflection with Johnny on our conversation with Mr. Hewlett. Johnny, what do you think about that? Because that was very different than the guest who was on a few weeks ago with the magic juice.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a few, and let's just go into.
Yes. I'm glad you said what you said and how you brought it to the table.
Yeah, let's just go to, and I'm not trying to bash anybody when I say this, but let's just go to character.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, this is a person who was a high achiever.
It's clear.
High achiever that's basically, shifted gears.
Yes.
Versus someone who's bouncing around, looking for shit and grabbed a hold of something that hoped it would be the next break.
Even the way the message was delivered, right? Like actually, like truthfully, right? Like very well said.
And it was a discussion on something that's known to be effective already.
Yes.
Not just a fucking name that sounds appealing.
Yes. I got to be honest. I'm curious about it. I actually am very curious about it. And if anything, we should throw.
We have different natural nitric oxide shit that we use all the time. Like Terry finds all these different things, like different versions of like cocoa powder and all this shit. And I know that it works. It's just it's one of those. It's a fucking lot of investment for a little bit of a pop.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Hey, Lauren, I see you, baby. I see your comment there. Yes, we're gonna get after that. Lauren's curious like I am, and we need to throw some to the Carolinas for Petro to try it too. Petro can be our placebo effect guy, but I'm curious about it. But Anderson, before we get to deep dive, Jimmy, and the ChatGPT and the smell thing, I want to talk to you for a couple minutes about back when you and I grew up, and I'm just thinking in my head here. So when you and I are growing up, and the bodybuilding industry was coming to life with Joe Weider and so forth. John, do you remember back in the world, like how was society accepting supplements back then? Was it poo-pooed? Was it accepted? Was there the no, you shouldn't take that shit? I'm trying to remember in my head. Was there like do you know what I'm trying to say? Like was there acceptance or was there
almost like it was pretty cult?
Yeah, wasn't it, eh?
Yeah, like I don't. The mainstream didn't really know much about it. I remember.
I think GNC, like after Weider, GNC would have been like the first mainstream to kind of mainstream like some of these products. Would I be correct, perhaps?
Well, you would find like originally you just found like it would be called like a health food store.
Yes,
right? They'd be selling all sorts of like regular, tree hugger shit. Let's call it.
Yes,
and you'd have one little shelf that had the bodybuilding stuff. And like I remember the first thing I tried was these fucking pellets. These muscle building pellets. It was like fucking chewing up sawdust. It was terrible.
I remember those things. I do remember those actual things. Yes.
It looked like something you'd fucking feed a cow.
I was just gonna say it looked like because my uncle had a cow farm. So I remember growing up, I was like, wait a minute, I was eating these things as a little bodybuilder guy. What are we feeding them to the cows for? It's exactly what it looked like to me.
And then when it came to I mean, I guess that what happened was in the cult world, once it actually Metrix was the one that just tore the lid off.
I remember. Yes.
All of a sudden now you had something that actually tasted good.
Right. Yeah.
And it had a pretty large amount of protein in there. And they hit the nail on the head. They marketed it properly. It was timing. There were so many things. And it was like once it really started to spread across the bodybuilding magazines, it really took shape within the industry. And then once they got it into like sports, then that's when it really started to head out, and then head out meaning it grew. But then what happened was, of course, then you get once people realize, shit, look at the margin in this. Now you've got all the people coming in, creating products that maybe are subpar, and now that's the birth of the whole fucking thing. That's the birth of the problem.
Right, because it was Joe and Steve's, not Joe, Frank and Tom sitting down going, okay, I'm going to create a product. How many fillers can I throw in there to make my margin, and then wrap it up in some good marketing materials and go make some.
Dude, as soon as business people came and investigated, they realized, holy shit. Because you and I could make a product.
Yes.
Right? Unless the laws have changed. So forgive me. I haven't looked into this in a long time. But when I heard this, I was like, no fucking way. This is a while ago. But you could make a product, and you got to basically say what's in there.
Yes.
And it could be totally fucking wrong.
I know.
This happened. A lot of products did this. They were putting God, there was one called the Russian Bear, and they were really putting a fucking anabolic in there.
Really?
And yeah, I don't know what the fuck it was, but but anyway, point of being is, whatever it is, the FDA, whoever comes and checks on shit, they have to come and check you.
Yes.
So you could operate at a low level, kind of without being noticed.
Yes.
And just be making all sorts of claims that are complete fucking bullshit. And as soon as people started to realize, God damn, it was no guardrails to this, then of course, then the first skeptics started to come into play. And then it became an issue of marketing over truth.
Yes. We got Petro saying, I'll try it, but we need a double-blind placebo-controlled trial. I love that. We got our resident scientist keeping us honest here, which is awesome. So,
what's interesting about where I am now?
Yeah,
is where I am right now. This is a perfect, because like if we were to give something to me like this,
okay,
when I was like running at my peak, like after the holidays, when I get my RPMs back up, there'd be very, very little room, for, I should say, improvement, if you will, just to kind of put bluntly, but right now, this is the time where I will feel something kick in more than not. That makes sense, because
absolutely.
I'm not operating at my highest. This is just kind of my life cycle. I'm down a gear or two. I'm letting myself recoup. And, so here in another 2 months, it would not have been a good time for me to actually feel like it, because I can feel the beetroot juice more now than I could 4 months ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm fascinated by it. So I again, I love having these conversations because I like to learn, and I'm certainly very curious, like I know you are, and working with the human experiment obviously make things quite helpful. But here's what I'm thinking. So we take the nitric oxide, something's going to happen, and I'm going to go, Jimmy, what smells?
Apparently, the internet wants to know what smells worse, men, women, or your uncle's recliner.
Study says women's farts actually smell worse. Less volume, more sulfur. Basically, sniper fire instead of artillery.
Relax. It is gut bacteria and diet, not a character flaw. And men still win for total cloud coverage.
Then we have old people smell. Not dirt, not laziness, just skin chemistry changing and getting trapped in stale fabric. And for dessert, BBLs smell. You paid for a new butt, then recovery smells like a gym bag that lost a fight.
And that one is not a joke. Trapped fluid, bacteria, sometimes real complications. If it reeks and hurts, you call a doctor. Point is, your nose is not just being dramatic, it is data. Your body and your house are sending reports.
Chief, John, grab your gas masks and your research. Deep Dive is next, and today we are trusting the nose.
What's the BBL part? I still am not quite connecting these dots here.
We're going to get to the BBL in a couple seconds. The big butt.
She said something. It was like, okay, now I'm really fucking lost.
Well, so we're going to get to that one in a second. But before we do that, I just got to pause and say this and call the team out. And Johnny, we're actually making a real life fucking TV show in real life. Like when I watch this shit that Melissa and Jimmy are making, I'm like, because I don't see this. Like I got to tell you, man, I'm out. I don't know what they make. I'm like, we got a show to make, and they set it up. So when I'm seeing this for the first time, like you, like it's all very organic. Melissa has full reins on bringing this thing to life. So I'm watching this, and I'm like, what the fuck? They just keep blowing me away with this quality of production we're putting on the show here right now. It's pretty awesome. You got to admit, it's pretty awesome.
No, it's definitely it's cool. I have to be on my toes though, because I have these fuckers call me out once in a while. I gotta be ready to put my dukes up.
You and me both this morning. I was like, what the fuck? So listen, okay, so yes, on average, women's farts, sorry, my love, do tend to smell worse than men's, but men usually produce a larger volume of gas. Here's what the research shows, Johnny. There's a small but famous study in the journal Gastroenterology, Petro ears up, that had volunteers collect their gas after eating beans, then analyze it chemically. How do you collect the gas? And then blind judges rated the.
I'll tell you how you do it. You fucking fart. You cup your hand over your butthole. You fart, and then you pull it up and you smell it. That's how you fucking understand if things are working well.
The results.
And then what you do is you go whip it. You get a little taste as it goes by your face, and you throw it in somebody else's.
Oh, but how do you how do you give it to the volunteers that want to smell it? You put it into a jar? Like
you're giving it to volunteers who don't want to smell it. That's what makes it fun.
Lauren's listening because my wife doesn't fart, actually. True story. So she's like, doesn't apply to me, probably because I eat so well. And she does. She eats so exceptional. Like, does Terry drop the bombs, Johnny, or is that just your job?
Well, everybody fucking farts. She just references she farts very little. I mean, nobody on the planet can say I don't fart. But if you're eating in a way where there's very little trouble with your digestion and you're eating the right foods, then there'll be much less.
The main drivers of fart odor are sulfur-containing gases produced when gut bacteria break down certain foods like beans, eggs, meat, and cruciferous vegetables. Women in the study simply had more of those sulfur gases per puff, which explains the stronger smell, but individual variation.
Is puff a fart?
I think so. I think it's a puff is a fart.
Christ, what are we talking about? Smoking a cigar or fucking passing gas?
Men tend to fart more frequently and women tend to fart slightly less. So there you go.
Dude,
so
it's digestion is a funny thing. I mean, like if I overeat, my digestion starts pumping out gas left and right because it's struggling to do the job.
Yeah, yes.
It doesn't matter what I ate.
I know what you mean. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And then we laughed at this one too. So old people smell is real. And it largely comes, and you talked about it, Johnny, and maybe this can help the peptide business, pal. Maybe something you're going to lean into here. So old people smell is real. And you and I are just around the corner, pal. Like you in a few years, you're going to be Billis. Yeah. You fucking smell, man. I go, I know, I'm an old person.
Well, dude, part of the fucking problem with the old people is they fucking stop showering.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I shower on Tuesdays and Saturdays. You fucking filthy son of a bitch. You take a fucking dump during these days? How about just get in there, scrub out your asshole?
Lauren works with old people all the time. I got to ask her if they smell.
Fuck, dude. I swear to Christ, they have a shower because people get old, they start really applying schedules. Find a fucking 80-year-old who showers every day. It's fucking hard to find.
So it largely comes from, so again, I'm being very serious now because of your peptides business. So old people smell is real, and it largely comes from a skin-produced compound called 2-nonanol that increases with age, plus stale air and fabrics that trap odor. So while you can't erase it completely, you can reduce it with lifestyle, skincare, and environmental changes. And I'm being serious. I got to think there's probably a peptide to help control that odor. I'm being serious.
Well, I'm wondering. My thought is it brought on by the old person lifestyle?
Yes,
because I know some older dudes who are still fucking crushing. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
And they didn't fucking smell. I swear to God, like I had a client who was always chasing down powerlifting records in his 80s.
Yes. Yeah.
Didn't fucking smell one bit. His car, the whole, but I mean, he fucking showered regularly. He still lived a life of a 50-year-old.
Right.
So I think it's maybe got to do with more of the lifestyle that the old person settles into, which triggers whatever that
Yes, and so my notes here kind of relate to much of that, right? It's but what it also can signal is issues like incontinence. So if you shit yourself or piss yourself, and or maybe you're wearing a diaper or something, or infection.
Well, again, the lifestyle has been altered
100%. Yes,
listen, when I'm shitting in my fucking pants, I don't think anybody's going to care about the fucking what my skin is excreting at that point. They're worried about what my asshole's excreting.
Okay. Last one. This one here, I saved this one for last. BBL smell is real and just as gross as it sounds.
What the fuck is define BBL?
The Brazilian butt lift. Very popular in southern Florida, down in the Miami.
That smells?
Yeah, it's a real documented post-surgery issue. Some people develop a musty, sour, or outright rotten odor that's tied to healing fluid, trapped sweat, bacteria, hygiene challenges. But it hangs within the skin, coming from the buttocks area during BBL recovery. We need Marty on the show for this conversation. See if Marty's been around any BBLs that smell.
I was going to say BBL. My mind was going to something like that had to do with like cosmetic surgery or something. So
well, that's what it is. It's a butt lift.
Leaning in the right direction. But I was like, why is someone who's not getting out of their fucking chair every day going to get that?
Well, this is for
that's where my mind was like, and if he does get it, of course he's got this fucking infection because he's sitting on his fucking wounds all day.
This is for the young lady or maybe the young man, but the young lady that wants to lift her ass up. So
this is not an old person smell.
No, this is for somebody.
This is a young person who gets this type smell.
This is for a young person. I'm going to make just a general statement that doesn't want to put the work in the gym to make themselves have a nice booty. So they go for the BBL, they pay the money, and they do the plastic surgery and get themselves a nice smelly ass. That's where it comes from.
Fucking nasty.
It is, dude. It absolutely is nasty. So that's why I put it on the show here today, man. That was funny, dude. Our time is up.
Well, I'm paying my debt, so you got to keep me for a little while.
Shows, man. Fun conversations, entertaining. Dude.
Yes, for sure. I'm going to pay my debt, so keep me for a little while.
Okay, good. Oh, and then Lauren says, "No, John, it's for anyone who can get one. Who's going to get one?" Yeah, BBLs, just they're popular, dude. Like they're people. You might see more people with BBLs than you think.
Yeah, I guess I just have committed to keep the shape of my ass through lunging.
Yes, I did some lunges today because I had legs day here myself, so that's good.
I'm telling you, when I'm traveling, fucking lunge is the best thing ever. Jesus Christ,
yeah,
you can fucking do them wherever you want to.
Yes, absolutely. So hey, let's revisit a current event. Doesn't affect us, but I'm leaning into it. So we talked about the Netflix Warner Brothers thing on Friday. Well, yesterday, you may have heard that David Ellison from Paramount they put a bigger offer on the table. So the big dick contest has gotten bigger, right? So Warner Brothers, Netflix went to Warner Brothers and said, we're going to offer you X dollars. Well, Paramount, which is owned by David Ellison, Larry Ellison's son, one of the richest guys in the world, Oracle guy, right? They put a bigger offer on the table yesterday, saying, "No, we really want it more than you guys." And so I actually find it quite fascinating because it's gonna have impact on cultural. It's gonna have impact on culture in North America because who owns that and the kind of content that gets put out and it's a sign of, I think, geopolitical but also political decisions that are being made through influence.
Dude, there's so much fucking stuff going on right now. It's fucking crazy, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
Ray Dalio. Here's somebody else too. Ray Dalio, a big investor guy.
Dude, if you don't listen to that guy, you're fucking silly because he goes and he studies like the 500-year patterns. Dude. And he says, look, they don't always repeat. At the very least, they rhyme. He says, like, you can see this pattern repeating itself over the last 500 years. You can't deny. And we're like in the tail end of another cycle.
Yeah, keep talking because he dropped something yesterday, man. He's like, the next 2 years are going to be largely his words, precarious. Like the next 24 months is going to be very, very precarious. Just the way because the geopolitical 2026 midterm elections coming around the corner. Like there's a lot of potential unrest that's resettling itself over the next 24 months. And when he's talking about it, like you said, man, you got to pay attention. If you're not paying attention, your heads are in the sand.
What's that? He wrote a book, but then he also did a YouTube video, and the YouTube video I think is only about 30 minutes, but it summarizes the last 500 years in a way that if you watch that and you pay attention, you're like, holy shit. I mean, it's like it's like we have summer every June. What he's pointing out is just about as sure. It might be July instead of June.
Yeah.
But holy shit. I mean, it's like, I mean, going back at like what it was like he was showing how different currencies around the world were the reserve currencies that were.
Yes.
I mean, at one point it was India.
Yes. Yes. Well, so another big topic that's kind of falling in the world right now too, and again, is this idea that maybe the United States needs to move back towards like the Monroe Doctrine, and I don't expect you to be familiar with that. Maybe you are, but it's where the U.S. is essentially the center of influence for the Western Hemisphere. And I only bring it up because it goes back to what you said, how the world's changing, right? And it's kind of like saying, okay, it's like you and I going, okay, you're going to take care of that part of the world, I'm going to take care of that part of the world. And that's essentially that's the discussion happening right now with some of the big world superpowers.
When you've been hearing talks about this for fucking goodness gracious, you've been hearing talks about, I mean, I can't remember who it was, but some high up government people were talking about, looking how China runs their socialist, and we need to kind of take notes of how they're running their society as socialists. And it's like, dude, there's just so much crazy shit going on. I mean, you talk about, all of the possible outcomes of where we are right now and what could happen. It's like, oh my goodness. I think the main thing that we have to realize is that, the only thing we can control is how we live ourselves.
I was just going to say,
you can't let all this shit distract you from your being the best version of you, because now you're becoming victim to a circumstance that you can't fucking control. And the idea is to get as strong and robust and as stable as you can. So whenever the fuck happens, you're more sturdy to get through it.
100%. You do have to admit though, that, when you see some of the world's wealthiest people, like building bunkers and buildings and places in the middle of nowhere, dude, it just makes you wonder, right? Like you're like, right.
Yeah, yeah. There's no question. I mean, it's like, because you think about it, we just get these huge shifts, right?
Yes.
And things are starting to shift, and the people that know what's going on, they're just getting their lives prepared and set for when the actual shift fully happens. And once the shift stops, they're going to be better than where they are right now. That's what's happened from the beginning of time.
Yep. It's absolutely the truth. And then we'll see what happens over there.
Like, when did we see in other times, we see these, massive tech moguls investing massive amounts of money in farmland.
Wow.
I mean, talk about holy shit. Talk about like never seen. I mean, there's just so many things we've never seen before. And then you got to attach a why to all of them. And it's like unless you actually have the cliff notes, you're never going to connect all these dots.
No, but again, I've said this before. To me, it only amplifies how much the world actually stopped for a few years when there was a different administration running the show. And I'm just joking with what I'm saying, but there's like for 4 years nothing was happening, and now we've got all this shit happening in the world. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like boom, 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 right? And it's
yeah. I mean, there's a lot happening right now for sure. I mean, and you think about it, it's like the standard, the chaos period.
Yes.
Things have to keep changing. So they finally call it break. I don't mean to be a negative Nancy when I say that, but when things break, that's what a chaos period's before. Things have to basically break apart, right? So that it can be rebuilt better.
Dude, what a great way for us to perhaps segue out of here today together, because what you just said, actually, think about it, brother, is you're talking about the fall of an empire. And you look through history, look at history. The Roman Empire, great empires have to fall to do what first? You got to rebuild. Right. So you just said it. There's a chaos period. Empire's you gotta push, and then it breaks. Then you reset. So maybe that's kind of part of the world we're living in for the next little while here. But I love what you said, man. All that we can control is what we can control ourselves. Getting good food in our bodies, getting our good rest, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our families, and take care of our own mirror. Because we can't control what happens over in the Middle East or in Europe.
And not getting distracted with all this shit.
Not getting distracted by the bullshit, which again, I'm really encouraged by the show we're building here and the platform we're building here, because as people are finding it like, oh, it's very different. Yeah, it is. We'll talk about some of this bullshit, but we're not going to go and spend a lot of time there because it doesn't help us. It's just noise, frankly. So what are you doing today, brother? What's on your agenda?
So I've got, what's that?
How was your lift yesterday? Oh, I got to ask you about a lift in a quick second, but how was your lift yesterday?
It was actually, I kind of went out as I was warming up. I went out very differently. I did a lot more body weight stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was looking okay. I just want to get a good workout, but I need to, I'm definitely in a interesting little phase of getting I can see that my recovery where I want to get back to after the holidays is going to take me focusing on that recovery even more. I mean, I'm definitely, it's crazy how we go through shifts and changes. And I can, like I said, I can kind of feel myself shifting, even with my training is shifting again, all these, and it's interesting as I gather more data to figure out exactly how I want to continue to push this shift.
Here's what I enjoy when we talk about this, and I listen to you talk, is that you, as a high performer, you may not recognize this because it's just what you do and you take it for granted, but I want to listen to you speak. You talk about recovery in a high performer way as well. What I mean by that is that often most folks just treat recovery like just recovery, but you're very intentional, strategic about recovery, and it's talked about. And that I think is something that is often not talked about with folks, the power of intentional recovery.
Yeah. I mean, as we get older, we have the recovery is really where the juice is.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know that, in my cycle of my yearly cycle, I know that I run myself to the point where I have to focus on recovery.
Yes.
And so this is just kind of where I am right now.
Yeah.
So today I've got some, excuse me, I got some business I'm going to be working on in the first part of the day in the business. I got some fun on the business stuff in the afternoon, but I think this is the last week that we have with our daughter here. So I definitely am making sure that I'm intentional about spending time with her.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, one quick little thing here. I know you're an almond butter guy. I'm a peanut butter guy. Now, I will admit I have not tried this, but I'm intrigued by it. Did you know, maybe you've tried this. Did you know, here's a did you know segment. So get ready. We got a little clip here. But did you know you could turn your scrambled eggs into a high protein saute style breakfast just by adding a spoonful of peanut butter? Sterling, Preston?
Did you know peanut butter upgrades scrambled eggs? High protein, satay style, 1 spoon. Roasted peanut, little sweet, no boring breakfast. Eggs start tasting like street food. Whisk peanut butter with warm water into eggs. Soft, silky curds, no weird liquid. Melt butter low, stir in peanut butter, then scramble slow, huge flavor hit. Cook eggs plain, then drizzle peanut satay sauce. Chili crisp, onions, peanuts, satay breakfast. 1 spoon peanut butter, high protein eggs.
That's your did you know from 30,000 feet.
Have you tried it?
100%. But
you have.
Yes, but Jesus Christ, whoever's making these things, get the fucking Jiffy off of there. Fuck. What the fuck, man? Shit's got all sorts of fucking crap in there that we don't want. And now that's the thing we put on. How about just put a can on that says peanut butter or anything?
I love that. Yeah. Celine, we got to put the better peanut butter on there. We'll put joking. But you've had
it. No label would even work for a car.
I've never tried that. You've enjoyed that, eh? Yeah.
Did you put fucking, I mean, I go almond butter rather than peanut butter because peanut butter is not even a fucking nut. It's a legume.
Yeah. Yes. But I'm serious. So tell me how you. So would you? I'm being serious. So do you put a little bit of almond butter into the eggs as your or when they're cooked, or how do you, or does Terry do it? Tell me about it. I'm very serious.
I can do it anyway. I can just put it on. I could. I mean, I love peanut butter too. So like my mom is a peanut butter junkie. So when I'm at her house, I don't eat almond butter. I eat peanut butter.
But do you put it in the eggs or on the eggs when it's done? Or do you cook them in the eggs?
I haven't done that. I just basically, I'll just put it on top or put it on the side.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because peanut butter, you figure like I'm very simple. I like eggs.
No,
I like peanut butter.
I love both.
So I'm gonna like them both. I put them together.
I love both. I never thought about them together. So I'm like, when I saw this, I'm like, I gotta fucking try this because I love both of them. Like I love both of them. Yeah.
We think back in the day, you had, you go to a restaurant. This is before we knew anything about food. You got a pancake. You got a sausage. You got some eggs, and you fucking pour syrup on the whatever the pancake, right? A lot of times you might have some sort of peanut butter on toast. So you got all these things on this really sweet plate of fucking food.
Yes.
Just eliminate the shitty food and keep the parts that you like. I mean, just literally putting sugar-free syrup on eggs to me tastes amazing. Oh, I put some peanut butter in there. Come on, man.
Yeah. I love it. I love that, brother. I love it. All right, man. Good show here today. A lot of fun. I'm going to get you out of here so I can get towards wrapping up myself here today. We got Cheryl Whitaker announced her live show she's launching here in the coming weeks. It starts with Joy live with Cheryl Whitaker. That's going to be fun and exciting. So expect some energy. And there's lots happening behind the scenes, man. I'm eager as we keep moving every single day forward here. So it's good. Are you warmer? Are you warm now?
Novocaine, brother. You just keep it. It just takes time, but it works.
That's right. And shout out to the team, man. Celine, Jimmy, Melissa, great stuff here today. So awesome. Okay, brother.
Did you ask if I'm warm?
Yeah, are you warm?
My body heat has warmed up this studio quite a lot, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
The fucking heater is misfiring. I got to get the fucking guy to take a look. He's like, it's the holidays. I'm not going to be there till after Christmas.
Yeah. Hey, quick before he goes, so I read nonstop here. I was reading something this morning where there's some men that are leading into. I was thinking about you because you're training every second day now. Well, this gentleman was talking about how he's training every second day, but he's kind of like doing a 2-2 every second day. 2 big compound movements, hardcore every second day, just focusing on compounds for men in their 40s and 50s. His thought was
I'm actually thinking about doing I'm kind of playing, like yesterday was me playing with different ways of going about it. I think there's what I might be doing is doing some sort of a, forgive the term cardio, but people understand that. Like some sort of sweat movement one day.
Yes.
And then my resistance training another day off.
Okay,
that might be the new rotation. I don't know. I'm still playing with it. But
and then
I can tell that it's time for another shift.
And then Anderson, when you do that, would you focus like on resistance day? Would it be like a full body compound type day? Is that what you'd be thinking? Like, I'm not holding you to that.
No. I would break it up because the problem I run into when I started first every other day and all this shit, then I just put too much into that fucking day.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So the idea is to make sure that the recovery is ahead of the breakdown. So I would probably break it into a few muscles, but when it comes down to it is that, Jesus Christ, if it's the whole idea of having more time is to have more recovery. So it doesn't always mean putting more back into the fewer days.
Yes.
And that's, I think, where people get lost.
Yeah. It's funny. I had some meetings yesterday with some folks that hadn't seen me in a while. Like, Billis, you're looking good, man. You've been lifting. Just been doing my thing. I'm like, no, look, I could tell like you maybe cleaned up your diet. You've been lifting good. I'm like, wow, man. It's
living better, baby.
That's exactly it. And it's nice to let's be frank, right? We go about our lifestyle day after day. It's nice when we hear every now and then some affirmation from somebody who's like, hey man, I can tell you have good habits, because that's what somebody's saying to you, is that they can see that you have good habits. And that's so like, what I love about my wife, I love her habits. Like I love the hard work. Just like you, Tara, I love the work she puts in. The results will be the results. There's nothing more than I love when I see her fucking getting up downstairs. She's like, I got to go get after it. Because that's just what we do. That to me is super attractive, and that's an attraction to a habit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, pal, you get out of here. Go be warm. I look forward to connecting with you in less than 22 hours. Once again,
have a good loop, my brother.
All right, pal. All right, guys, we're gonna get Johnny out of here. Let's do it. Good morning, everybody. You're hanging out with me, the Handsome Chief. We got some great numbers today on the show. Thank you guys for joining Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We be after live every single day here, Monday through Friday, live, 8 o'clock Eastern time. X. Jimmy, notice that one? X. YouTube, LinkedIn. The gang on X has been showing up today, so thank you guys for stumbling on and finding the channel. Something's working over on X today. I got it. So we're constantly pulling levers on this thing, iterating, trying to move the boat forward constantly and always learning. And today, woo, numbers through the roof. So for whatever reason that was, it looks like the titles and how we are showing up is paying off. All right. So yesterday I teased the big segment. We got two things we're going to get after it. We're going to do the morning focus and then we're going to do community corner with Maya Reyes. So yesterday I teased a little segment that is clear to me that's happening. And, the hook was that prostitution is making a big comeback. But in reality, what I really wanted to say was that when everything goes digital, humans become the last real thing.
Tommy and Frankie have been quiet since they crashed Sophia's center stage. For once, the lounge feels stable.
Perfect timing, because this is not a day for doc comedy. This one is about what stays human when everything goes digital.
AI is already faking work, faking intimacy, faking conversation, feeds, filters, girlfriends in your phone, all of it synthetic.
That's when the scarcity flips. Real touch, real attention, real presence. Suddenly that is the premium product.
You cannot download that heartbeat. You have to show up in the room to earn it.
Yeah.
Morning Focus is next.
Chief, come talk to the guys about being the last real thing in an AI world.
I got to be honest with you. I've been thinking about this topic for a long time. And I was looking for the platform to share it with you. And I decided, hey, we're going to do it on the big show. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Because AI it's for 3 years in, it's everywhere. It's like the internet when it was born 1,000 years ago. And when we look at it, AI is quickly erasing the human in an AI digital world. Now, listen, it's hard to argue that human-to-human prostitution is going to make a comeback. What the hell is he talking about? It's sad to me. But when sex becomes digitized through absolutely everything, what's left? You kind of think that women are going to have to go back to physical situations in order to prove that they are real. And I hate to say that women, because men, of course, as well. So whether it's women prostitution or men prostitution, but it's this idea that to prove that they are real, you're going to have to give the real touch. What's OnlyFans going to become? A digital slop fest? And this is largely unfortunate, but it's easy to see, is it not? But here's the thing. As I was reflecting and putting this piece together, it's much deeper than that. Because this really is only the surface. And I see your comment there, Spartacus, that yes, prostitution has been the longest and oldest occupation in history, and I believe it's going to make a big comeback. Because when everything becomes synthetic, and everything is on its way to becoming synthetic, think about this, guys. Ears up, pay attention to what I'm going to say next. Because when everything becomes synthetic, the scarcity flips. Think about this for a moment. AI is digitizing intimacy, companionship bots, hyper-personalized adult content, deepfakes, immersive VR, on-demand everything. Open up Grok and have porn created in 10 seconds. Non-stop. Because the more imitated human connection becomes, the more actual human presence becomes a rarity. And when you think about this in the world of economics, scarcity, what does it do? What does it do? Well, scarcity creates demand. So yes, we are going to see some really very, very real tension. Because if authenticity becomes the rarest commodity, people will pay for what genuinely is human. Again, think about this. But it's not prostitution that makes a comeback. It's actually, again, something much, much deeper. Because what we're pointing at isn't sex work per se. It's the return of an embodied presence as a premium. Think about this, guys. Think about this, guys. It's this idea that real touch equals luxury. Real attention becomes premium. Real intimacy becomes status. And real connection, it becomes the proof of humanity. Very much like this live morning show daily. Proof of real humanity showing up live, 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Because guys, this is much, much bigger than the sex industry. It is about the entire economy of human connection being reshaped. AI is not taking everything away. No, it's actually only exposing what was hollow. Just like I referred yesterday, just like the illusion of work. Because AI is now exposing the illusion of connection. If anything, we're heading into a world where people are lonelier. People doubt what's real. People crave something you can't download. And that creates a paradox for all of us. The more AI simulates intimacy, the more valuable real intimacy becomes. The uncomfortable part you're seeing? Look around. We aren't prepared for the psychological and the social fallout of synthetic connection. Hell, do we hear anybody talking about this idea of synthetic connection? People won't know what's real. And that is what makes real people the new frontier. Let me say that again. People will not know what is real. And that makes real people the new frontier. But the answer isn't women go back to physical situations. No, nation, no. The answer is human connection from relationships to friendships to community becomes the next luxury market. What did he just say? Yeah, I said it. Human connection from relationships to friendships to community. It becomes the next luxury market. The move to communities is not an accident, you guys. It's already happening. Companion apps replacing friendships. AI girlfriends replacing dating. Rent a friend services rising. We talked about renting huggers in Japan. I want somebody to touch me. I want a hug from a real human being. In real life events selling out because people want one thing, real. Even gyms becoming booming because people crave in-person. Look what happened after the pandemic. We got to get back to the gym. Guys, you're feeling the cultural pulse. But the real headline is this. AI didn't eliminate human connection. No. It's actually done the opposite. AI has made human connection valuable again. But here's the question back to you, nation, because this is where it gets interesting. What part of real connection do you think becomes priceless in an AI saturated world? Is it touch? Is it presence? Is it attention? Is it emotion? Or is it authenticity?
If your 2026 calendar is packed for everyone else but empty for you, this part is for you. We've got a man who literally drew his year on a wall so work couldn't steal it again. We've got another who wrote one tiny thing a day until a friend asked, "Why aren't you doing this for real?" And we've got a leader who loads the office dishwasher himself. No speech, no Slack message, just plates. It's your turn, handsome chief.
We're going to start the community corner journey in YouTube. design as legendary as 2026, Jesse Eisler says most people let life happen to them. Not Jesse. He's got a 3-step system. Close out 2025 with intention, design 2026 around big adventures, and look at it all. And lock it all onto a visual calendar. Yeah, close out 25. Audit what worked. Declutter your space. Digital detox. Handwrite thank you letters to people who impacted you. Did you hear that? Handwrite thank you letters to people who impacted you. You just heard my segment around human touch being more valuable than ever again. I'm going to make a statement that handwritten letters are going to become at a premium in 2026. Think about it. That blender exercise, rate your overall life happiness 1 to 10. Whatever pulls that number down, fix it in 2026. Plan an offense with 3 pillars, 1 big Misogi challenge, 6 mini adventures using Kevin's rule, and 1 winning habit every quarter. But here's the most important part, guys. You got to put yourself on the calendar first. Lock in the races, the adventures, the trips, the birthdays, and fun before work. Go backwards from that. Treat your calendar as your life script. Once you book 2026 for your personal stuff baked on the wall, you put everything in after that. You gain that permission to say no to anything that is misaligned with your requests. So think about it. Plan your life for how you want your life. Then fill the gaps for the work that helps you get there. But here's the question for you guys. What's the 1 big Misogi challenge you're committing to for 2026? All right, let's keep it going on Substack. Where purpose can come from unlikely places. Yes. Derek McDonald. We got Derek again? I thought we had Derek on here before, actually. Is this a different Derek? Maybe there's lots of Derek McDonalds. But because I worked with a guy named Derek McDonald. Nope, this is a different. I think we celebrated this guy. Maybe we didn't. I don't know. But Derek McDonald started a year-long daily writing challenge to improve communication and revive his social life. The experiment unexpectedly opened the door to a deeper life pivot. Now he got addicted to porn. Just kidding. Just wanted to see if you're listening. Just wanted to see if you're paying any attention. All kidding aside, Derek McDonald started a year-long challenge, and during coffee with a close friend, a probing question came. Have you ever considered becoming a therapist? That suggestion. Well, it actually forced him to confront what truly energizes him, using his strengths to help others make sense of their lives. What I enjoyed about this is that the purpose can emerge from side quests. Hey, you ever thought about being a therapist? His daily writing surfaced a much larger life direction. Those honest conversations with trusted friends expose the answers that you're avoiding about your career and your identity. So here's the question for you guys. What side quest are you avoiding that might actually be pointing you in the direction you should be heading? Maybe it's time to go have a conversation with a friend who might discover it for you. Think about that one. All right. Last on LinkedIn, Philip T. Wylonis describes a CEO at a startup that eventually exited for $185. Hi, all kidding aside, $185 million. Who would... Oh, saw some breaking news here. Nothing important to us. Yeah, so Wylonis describes a CEO at a startup who would regularly load the office dishwasher himself whenever the kitchen was a mess. No fanfare, no sign on the task, just clearly cleaning up what others avoided. Watching this taught Philip one thing. Being a CEO is less about title and more about acting like a janitor who cleans up messes. Truth to that one. Because true leadership is taking responsibility for unglamorous tasks that others ignore. Leading by example in small, everyday moments, especially when nobody's watching, it quietly influences your culture. And it inspires the whole team to adapt to that same standard. So, as you go through the day today and you get after it after the show, what unglamorous mess are you avoiding that you should be leading by clearing up? What about you, Maya? Are you a leader? Or are you leaving those messes for Sterling and Preston and Frankie and Tommy? Maya, get me out of here.
That's today's Community Corner. 1 wall calendar, 1 side quest, 1 dirty kitchen sink staring back at you. Pick the one that feels closest to your life and Change something small before you talk yourself out of it. Want your story featured by the handsome chief himself? Follow us and tag us in your next post.
All right, guys, we covered a lot of ground today, nation. Holy smokers. We started off the show with the $108 billion battle for your mind. And hey, you think ChatGPT can land an Airbus? Big wide-body jet? Well, we talked about it, hour one. And that wild memory study, that big fish story your buddy's telling you about, well, it's confirming that your friends are full of bullshit. Yeah, that they remember nothing accurately. We had some fun with that one. We got into the epic spot with John's throwback posing. I invite you guys to go see that one. Little John on stage. We handed out the Dumb Shit Award to the Brass Steeler. And then we took center stage with Jason Hewlett, the shaky bomb bone, shaky bomb bone, shaky bomb bone. Yeah, the old Ricky Martin impersonator came on the show here today. Hour two, we got deeper. We got into what smells. Yeah, a conversation about Jimmy's smell. Yeah, just saying. Yeah, combination about Jimmy. We talked about BBLs, old people smelling, and women's farts smelling more than men's farts. If you don't believe me, you got to go back and listen to the segment. We dropped it around the 20 some odd minute, about the 17-minute marker on hour two. So guys, now it's your turn. Just throwing Jimmy under the bus. Tomorrow we're back. My invitation for you is to get after it, guys. Move with intention. Do the things you said you were going to do, guys, because every man listening today has at least one area in your life that needs action. Not overthinking. So here's my invitation for you guys today. Take a step back before the momentum fades and get moving, because that's how you create momentum. And remember, I'll tell you what, remember, because we are back in less than 22 hours. Yes, team, less than 22 hours with another live morning show. What do we call it? We call it Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And we're live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, X, LinkedIn, YouTube. What a great show, guys. I see you, Good Time. I see you, Spartacus. I see you, Sullivan. I see the entire gang out there. Guys, we have had a tremendous show with great numbers. Thank you all for showing up. I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it again. You guys have the choice where you can spend your time, and I thank you for spending it with us. And on behalf of me, I just want to throw big thanks out to my team. We are actually producing a real-life fucking TV show in real time, live in front of all you guys, and I couldn't be more proud of that. Awesome job, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.